Now, as I spoke about the dashboard, let's talk about the benefits. So the first and the most important benefit that we have is that there's an improved social media efficiency. You can just manage so many things at like that. The time that you would take to manage 4 accounts and 6 social medias, you could just do it in like fraction of time. You could just have a look at it. You could just see the metrics in a fraction of time. It just makes your time worthwhile. You could use it for other work as well. You could use it in planning your future months. The second thing is it streamlines social media management. So you don't want to switch between apps to look on which is doing better. You could compare it on the dashboard itself how each of your platforms are doing. This is what I spoke about earlier. I'm just repeating these points because we could be aware of what Hootsuite helps us in doing. The third thing is enhanced social media monitoring and enhance engagement. You can see across platforms how your social media is doing, how the engagement is doing, and you can focus on a certain social media more than the other one. So if your Instagram is doing better, you could focus on that better, and if your Twitter is not doing better, you could just you could either put it on the back seat or you could work on it depending on uh, how your plans are for the future. And the fourth thing is improved social media analytics. As I mentioned earlier in the earlier slides, provides all sorts of media analytics that we need for social. And it just provides us in front of us. Now, this is something that I've not talked about. This is about and teamwork. So if you're a team of, let's say, 20, 30 people working for 5 to 6 brands, now this is what happens in a big agency, social media agency, that they have a lot of clients to work with. They have a lot of clients. They have to look after all the social medias of all clients, and they have to be all the content has to be different. So Instagram can't be similar to Twitter, and Twitter can't be similar to LinkedIn. The brand voice and the how the brand is engaging with audience is always different. This is where Hootsuite really helps us. The collaboration and team. You can add your team members into the Hootsuite dashboard. You could with them. So there's something called organization that provides a central workspace team to collaborate content. In simple words, it just makes your work easy. It's just like Teams, but for teams, but for social media. You can add multiple teams, specific team media accounts for each team. So as I said, when bigs come into place, they have a lot of accounts to work with. So that's where this uh, teamwork and this collaboration thing really helps them. They can also use a single content line. The graphic team can put all the content into that. Social media team can just upload those content on wherever it's needed, and then the copywriting can just write those copies, or they could write it on the other on a separate platform and share it with them. It just increases collaboration between teams, and it just makes everyone's life easy. Everyone be aware ki what is done, what is not done. If a certain graphic is remaining is not done, then they could just contact each other and get it done. The dashboard provides insights into social media performance across all social media accounts, including metrics like engagement rates, follower growth, and more. As I talked about earlier, everyone can see what a certain social media is doing. So now, if a uh, if a social media manager and a social executive, the one at a lower level and one at a higher level, they both are working on a single account, but the executive has to keep informing the manager ki this is happening in our social media. That's just not seamless conversation. That's just not seamless collaboration. When it comes to Hootsuite, you can just see it in real time, and there's just increased collaboration and teamwork between team members. That's what Hootsuite provides. So now Hootsuite is not free. It is free for 3 accounts and up to 5 posts a month. But I don't think when we when we run a social media management company or when we run social media managing accounts for businesses, we just don't have 3 accounts and 5 posts a month. So it comes down to buying either the professional team or business account. The most simple one, you can see that if you purchase the 1915 per month one, you can have one user, 10 social media accounts, unlimited posting, post scheduling, access to messages in one inbox, and then it just keeps increasing. This is like a subscription plan that they provide. So one thing that I would like to add here is, if you're just starting out being a social media manager, I think you can skip on using Hootsuite, because Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, they all have all these similar uh, features that Hootsuite. Just that you will have to keep uh, switching your tabs between all of these. As a freelancer or as a or in a small media agency, we don't have a huge budget for all these professional accounts. So if you're just starting out, you could just skip onto all of this and use Facebook, Instagram on its own. But if you have 3 to 5 accounts and if you have 6 social medias to handle for all of those accounts, it becomes very tiring for you to keep switching. And there's always that one brand that takes a backseat. I've been there, I've experienced, and then we end up being late for that account, and we forget making the social media calendar, and then it all becomes very messy in the end. So when you have multiple brands working for you, when you're working for multiple brands, then I think Hootsuite is something that you need to invest in. Either the team's account or a business account, depending on your budget and the number of clients that you have. But it does help when you have multiple accounts. So first and foremost, the most simple feature is that it helps us in publishing and scheduling our content. Secondly, it helps us in content curation. So you, as I told you all, that it helps in researching about what is running in social media, what all trends are running in social media right now, what inspirations that you can take for it. Media campaign that you're running for a certain brand, if you have a certain so this is the month of international women. So if your brand is running a campaign for women, and see how your social medias are doing with respect to campaign management. Then the fourth thing that we have is monitoring and see how the campaigns are doing. We can monitor them and we can see how the engagement is doing. We can see on the inbox how many comments we have, how many tweets we have, how many mentions we have. The fifth thing is that I talked about boost posting and ads. So it makes running ads very simple. The sixth point is that it helps in analytics. It's just very similar to the seventh thing is about security. So when you have to log into multiple accounts at all the time, you have to keep in mind your passwords for all of these new accounts. So when it comes to Hootsuite, you can just log into this and you don't have to log into any of those accounts ever again. So it just brings security at one place. And the eighth thing that I talked about is integrate your organization. It just makes collaborating with your team members much easier and simpler for you. And these are the features of Hootsuite. That's all. I think we are done here. Thank you so much.